Hi, Pat the podcast editor here. What is the secret to moving up in any business? Today, Dan and Lloyd discuss how you can make an impact and stand out wherever you are.
If you are within a working environment where you think, I can fail a few times in the pursuit of finding success and progression, then there's lots of good things you can do.
Yeah.
You'll learn about two very different methods that you can use to work your way up the ladder. You'll also learn about the impact Lloyd made on the global phenomenon of walking buses.
If you struggle sometimes to come up with those proactive solutions, because not everyone's as brilliant as you, Lloyd. Not everyone has these amazing solutions.
Absolutely revolutionised the world of walking buses from language schools.
Exactly.
They call me the Tim Cook of
walking
language.
buses?
Yeah, something like that.
But the climb isn't for everyone. Some people are happy getting on with their day, while others just aren't in the right environment to facilitate the changes they want to see.
But I think this is an important question to answer because everyone wants to progress, don't they? You're asking, do people want to progress? Surely they do.
No, not everyone does.
Well, what do you want to do then?
I want to progress.
No, but...
Right, let's get stuck in. This is episode 52 of the Business Anchors podcast.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
If you worked in the marketing department for a brand, what would you do to make an impact, improve the performance of the marketing, and stand out as an amazing asset to the brand?
Now that is a long question. Well, firstly, do you want to make an impact?
That's a good point.
Because sometimes making impacts is a bit risky in a job. It's weird. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative. And
You are.
say, well, no, not negative. But I think when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, well, actually, a lot of the things you have to do to like make an impact and improve things are quite risky. Because it's very easy to be in a marketing role and a business has always done what they've always done, or you can just kind of copy other people in the industry. Yeah, they're doing that. That looks all right.
Yeah.
We'll do that. I think that's very safe, and you'll probably always be in that job. Won't progress much, but
No, I think you can progress. You can progress.
yeah, but not quickly.
No, yeah, okay.
Do you see what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But you were saying about how can you make an impact? I mean, your extremely long question. Make an impact, improve the performance, and
Yeah.
stand out as an amazing asset.
Yeah.
I don't think you're doing that.
No,
If you,
yeah.
yeah.
I think this is important though, because there's a lot of listeners who are in the marketing space and may not be in marketing jobs. They may have their own career in marketing or their own company. But I think this is an important question to answer because everyone wants to progress, don't they? You're asking, do people want to progress? Surely they do.
No, not everyone does.
Well, what do you want to do then?
I want to progress.
No, but... Well, okay, so what's...
No, a lot of people are in jobs that they want the money and they do the job they have to do. They're not looking for progression
Oh, okay.
in a career.
That's just alien to me. I don't get that.
Yeah, I am surprised that you don't. You've had other jobs. Surely you've worked with people who aren't bothered about this stuff.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think no. There's such a culture here. Like everyone's trying to improve things, and you know, as a group of people, I think we are like that. So I'm glad it's alien to us because I think everyone here is really like up for improving things and making things better.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants to do that.
Yeah.
I think before we actually go into answering the question, another thing, you've got to make sure that you're working within a business that is open to failure as part of the pursuit to improving things.
That's true.
Because some people in marketing jobs, they know that their boss, if they take a risk and they fail, it's going to be like, right, disciplinary for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, so I think, but let's speak more positively now.
Yeah.
If you are within a working environment where you think, I can fail a few times in the pursuit of finding success and progression, then there's lots of good things you can do.
Yeah.
And let's talk about those good things, Dan. So, what do you think people can do to climb that marketing ladder and stand out?
I think I've always sort of had a real intrinsic kind of motivation to always want to progress, which is why it is a bit alien to me to not want to do that. But within my, when I used to work at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, I was really motivated and kind of climbed the ladder quite quickly. And there's a few things, and even now, like we're constantly looking to progress, there's a few things that I think you can do to climb that ladder as quickly as possible. One of them, which is simple, is work harder than anyone else. I think you're
Simple but hard.
Yeah, simple but hard. I think you've sometimes said that is a negative for me because I go tunnel vision and I would just like work all weekend and stuff when really there's a smarter way of doing it.
But that person that has been you in the past is still providing great value to the business and proving their worth. But yeah, that's a simple way is working harder than everyone else.
Yeah.
Obviously you've mentioned that briefly. I think because we're very different personalities and we've spoken about this before. I prefer to work a different way.
Because we're opposites.
So I think, introducing new processes and ways of working into the business that makes it easier for the team around you to improve things and do better things at their job in an easier way. So I've got an example.
Go on,
Would you like to hear my example?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so 21-year-old Lloyd working at Churchill House. Oh, should I say details? Already have. Churchill House School of English.
Yeah.
Ramsgate, Kent.
Yeah.
Lots of foreign students that needed walking home to various houses. They were staying in host families all around the town. So at the end of the disco, the end of the night, the process that was in place was there's a number of what they call walking buses. Oh, Dan worked there as well. So I hadn't heard of a walking bus before that. I realised very quickly it's just walking in a line with people.
Bus with legs.
So there were like 10 different walking bus routes to go to these different places. So the first year I worked there, when I was new, the way that we used to determine what kids were going with what adult was there'd be numbers 1 to 10 walking bus. The disco would end, the lights would go on, and staff would walk around a hall shouting a number 1 to 10, and then the kids were shouting numbers 1 to 10, trying to find an adult shouting the same number.
That was hell. I remember it well.
So not only was this extremely inefficient and took 40 minutes at the end of each night, and so all the kids got home to bed at like midnight.
Yeah.
It was horrible to be in that room. Imagine you've already been working at like a school disco for foreign students.
Trying to act
It's even
happy.
louder because they're trying to shout different languages at each other to communicate. And then at the end of it, you just got people going, 7, 7, 7, 7. And then people going, 4, 4. And then like hundreds of these just shouting. And then there's one guy called Adam who would just shout his own name sometimes. Adam! Like that. So it was crazy. And so the second year, did he do that or did I think?
He did do that.
Yeah, he did do that. Shout out to Adam. He's the nicest guy I've ever met, I think. And then so the second year, I was like senior activity leader. Pretty big deal in the world of Churchill House.
Yeah.
Rocked in with a
Ladies
proper
loved you.
lanyard that said senior on it. So got paid about 5 pence more an hour.
And you had the emergency phone.
And we've told stories about that, I think.
Yeah.
Haven't we? And so I went in and was like, mainly again selfish, but I think I added value to the business. Like, this is horrible every single night. So I changed the walking buses to colours, and rather than everyone shouting, I just got 10 people to hold up a coloured piece of card, and then within 30 seconds, everyone went to the right colour and went home.
That is so clever.
So I think
That's so
obviously
simple.
that's simple, and it's simpler to add value when you're in an entry level job and you're young, because usually you have simpler problems to solve and things to improve, and they get more complex throughout your career.
I like that you were proactive because
Thanks.
no one incentivized you to come up with that clever approach, did they? Or that not clever, but just the not stupid approach.
No.
But you were proactive in finding that solution to that problem that everyone just dealt with for years.
Yeah. But again, probably selfish in my eyes. I thought that's a rubbish half an hour. But I think it's looking for those things. And in our own business, and there's things we miss and we should improve. There's always things that you can look at, and that's why us and our team, when we come out of projects and we're trying to do it more and more,
Do a bit of a debrief.
It sounds like a negative thing sometimes, but we're kind of like, oh, what went wrong? So we can then go, well, let's not do it like that next time. And it makes everyone's life easier, work better, and the business performs better.
Yeah. I also think if you struggle sometimes to come up with those proactive solutions, because not everyone's as brilliant as you, Lloyd. Not everyone has these amazing solutions.
Absolutely revolutionised the world of walking buses from language schools.
Exactly.
They call me the Tim Cook of
walking
language.
buses?
Yeah, something like that.
So what you can do if you're not as clever as you, if you're not Tim Cook of walking buses,
Yeah.
a simple thing is to actually just speak to your manager or boss or whoever and ask them what you need to do to climb the ladder. Something when I worked at Enterprise, something they did a lot of things really badly, but something I learned a lot from was they had a really clearly set out career path, and they had this thing called the grill. Don't know if I ever told you this.
No.
But they basically, within your first year, you're a management trainee, I think, and then you train that whole in the job, but you're also doing sort of this massive booklet called The Grill, where you're learning about profit and loss and learning about customer service and their values.
Yeah.
And then you work, what's it called? You study, sorry. And you, and
I thought that was going to be a hard
No,
one.
you study. And then after within the first year, they expect you to do the grill. And it's called a grill because it's like an American company, so everything's really cheesy and
Right.
But
Cheese on the grill.
Cheese on the grill. You get sat in front of two area managers, and they grill you basically.
Oh.
They're
I did not know. I didn't get the grill reference until that point.
Oh,
right,
okay.
So, yeah, okay, got it.
you were just thinking of cheese, weren't you?
Yeah.
But what they have in that pack is a clear path you need to take, and you need to learn about this. You need to pass the grill. Then you need to manage a small branch, and manage a small group of 5 people, and 100 cars. Then your next progression is up to area manager, and they really set out that clear path of what to do. And I think if you're in a role that you do want to progress, having that conversation with your manager and saying, "I want to progress. What do you expect from me?" Because you're not expected to have all the answers. It doesn't make you look stupid if you ask that question, does it?
I think that's something in our business we need to do better at when people are starting and when we have people that want to progress, making it very clear. Yeah, we want you to progress too. So these are the things we need to see from you and the steps you need to take. I think that's a definitely thing as a business we can improve. But I would, because I like to have the opposing argument to you sometimes.
Please
Dan,
do.
I think you're exactly right, and that's definitely a good step to take.
Great.
But also, I think being sort of even more proactive, and sometimes I think. Sorry, I'm going to compose my thoughts. So, as an employer and a manager of people, sometimes if everyone here wanted to progress at the moment, so if we had 10 people in the room, all asking me what shall I do to progress? Yeah. That's very hard for me as a manager because there's too many people asking me stuff all the time. So I would say as well, there's a whole other side of it of trying to look for things yourself and being proactive, and then just making a quick suggestion. I was thinking I was going to do this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And then, do you see what I mean?
That is a better approach.
Because No, I think your approach is completely valid too.
But actually going with suggestions.
If you're doing it all the time, it kind of...
Because it's just constantly asking, what should I do here? What should I do this?
They can't work autonomously. They always need us saying, this is what you should do. So I think it's the blend of both approaches, I think, is a really good way to step up the kind of ladder in a business.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you can't be expected to know everything. So you've got to be asking questions on how that works.
Yeah.
But also you can be observing... being critical of your own work and the way the teams around you are working and think, are there ways that I could suggest and try and implement improvements? Yeah. And that's hugely valuable to a business.
Yeah. And I think it's the people who go above and beyond to take that proactive approach that really stand out. It's like if someone, saw a gap in our business where there was something that it could really improve, or we're not using a certain marketing channel, or there's processes which, like you did with the green coloured walking bus, and they said, I've noticed this isn't working that well. If we actually did this and this, I think it could really, and I think that proactiveness is what will make you stand out and make you...
Yeah. Oh, but also a tip for employers and managers, and I think something we need to listen to ourselves, Dan, when people are doing that, employers and managers of people and leaders need to make sure we give the time and effort back. Someone's come up with this good idea. We need to not just go, oh yeah, great, and then it gets forgotten.
Yeah.
Because I think I need to improve with this. When we're really busy, sometimes people are suggesting good stuff,
ideas,
and I don't have enough brain space to even think about
Yeah,
it.
it's like, great idea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think, on the other side, that's something people can improve as well.
Yeah.
And I think I should improve that.
Something else.
I'll write that down on my to-do list.
Good.
Thank you.
Something else more kind of tactical that I found, because I studied marketing at university, learnt nothing about marketing. Well, I say that, but like learn theories and people's names I can't remember that said certain things, but it was all, none of it was practical.
Yeah.
I think the thing that really helped me to progress my marketing knowledge is actually doing practical marketing things. Like doing rather than just reading. I think there's two parts to it. Yes, listening to podcasts in your spare time, watching videos, reading articles, staying up with the latest news in marketing, the marketing world is super important. But actually doing, like, start your own TikTok channel and start making TikToks to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
That you're going to learn way more doing that than reading an article about TikTok. Or, so I think trying to make sure you're...
Not to be scared to do those things in your own time and at work.
Yeah, and even if you've got 2 followers and get no likes for your next 100 posts, that's irrelevant.
You've been looking at my TikTok.
Yeah. It's the lessons you learn from doing shit stuff, and like one of something you do. Oh, that got like a bit of engagement. I'll learn from that small thing. If I change the copy slightly, if I tag a song, if I do a bit of research before to look what other people are doing to feed into how I'm producing that video or that piece of content or that article or whatever. Yeah, it really helps.
Going in another direction, and just to be critical of myself again.
I thought you were going to just tell me everything I said was wrong.
No. I think that's really good advice, Dan. Definitely right.
Thanks for the pat on the head.
Something that I've made a mistake of in the past, in my previous
You don't make mistakes, do you?
roles. I just don't admit them a lot of the time. And I think people could, even listening to this, could be thinking, right, tomorrow I'm going to go into my boss and I'm going to suggest that we build a car out of Lego.
Right.
And like new ideas that are going to be really innovative. I think be careful not to... I have been and I've worked with individuals who constantly are introducing things to improve stuff, but aren't doing their basic job well enough. And it holds them back.
Yeah.
So I've been this guy.
You're the shiny object, shiny idea guy.
Yeah. I've been this guy and I've worked
let's do this
with
cool,
these
really
people.
innovative things like...
They suggest loads of good stuff and then they have a really simple thing that they have to do on their job, and every month they have to get like chased to do it, or they do it wrong because it doesn't... I suppose in reality, and this is from experience, it doesn't excite me enough.
Yeah, you're
I'm
describing
looking at
yourself
these-
right now.
Yeah. But I think that holds people back in their progression as well, because managers
Focusing on the basics,
and
right.
employers look at that and are like, well, of course we can't give this person a pay rise or give them a promotion, because their basic part of their job they never do. And
But they want to build a car out of Lego, though. That's a cool idea.
yeah, that's really cool, and I'll do it. So I think
this is...
as a point, that's
Yeah,
something
it's
to
funny
think
whenever
about.
we have these conversations. I constantly think yeah, shit, I do that sometimes. I need to stop doing that. It's quite interesting we give all this advice out, but really we're just giving advice to ourselves.
Yeah, this is just therapy for our own business here at Knowlton.
Yeah.
So Dan, make sure you get the basics right, okay?
Yeah.
And you could go far within this business.
Thank
okay?
you.
All right.
What do I need to do to progress in this role?
You need to sell to exciting brands
Yeah.
that are really open to creativity and have
Yeah.
massive budgets, so our team can get really creative and do the best job we can.
Okay.
You need to sell lots of
Yeah.
that stuff.
Cool.
But at the right time, so we don't have too many projects on for our team.
Yeah.
You need to manage that as well.
Okay.
And also, if you could give shoulder rubs to our team twice a day,
Okay.
that would be
Get creepy.
if they want one, I should say. I think if they don't, that's not a good idea.
No.
Learn that lesson. Yeah,
Thanks for your advice.
that's all right. What can I do? What should I do to progress?
If you can manage all the team, keep them motivated, support them through their career progression,
Yeah.
and also manage all the projects and look forward in the business and make sure we're doing things to constantly progress to hit our 2030 target.
Okay.
Um,
What about coloured walking buses? Any
That's
good?
a good idea.
Yeah.
But if you just focus on the basics first,
Okay. Then I'll go on
then
to
you
that.
can get the coloured walking
Okay.
buttons.
All right.
Do you have any other advice, I think, like in terms of if you're in a marketing job, how to progress? Is there anything else we haven't touched on that?
There's loads of stuff we haven't touched on, but I think that's been nice and concise and valuable, so I'm not going to waffle.
Cool. Me either.
Okay. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Business Anchors podcast. If you'd like to hear some more businessy goodness, subscribe, like, follow, comment, share, leave us a review. Tell your mates, tell your nan.